Hi mums, my name is Claire Fitzpatrick and I'm a pelvic floor physiotherapist, and in this video I'm going to show you how to assess and look to see if you've got a tummy gap, or its official name as to see if you've got a rectus diastasis. So what is rectus diastasis? Well, quite simply put, we have some six-pack muscles which run from here to here, and in the middle of them we have some connective tissue called your linea alba. Now as we get pregnant, our abdominal muscles stretch, and in order to make space for that growing baby, that fascia between the two allows a little bit of separation, and a little gap can appear. It's very normal. It's how we can, keep that growing baby inside us at 9 months. Generally what happens postnatally is that gap resolves naturally. Our tummy muscles close down, they shorten, they tighten, and that gap improves naturally. However, in some people it doesn't. So if you were one of these people that had a very large baby, if your baby was in a back-to-back position, or if you some of the movements that you did throughout your pregnancy put a lot of strain or stress on your linea alba, and then those are the type of people that find that their gap doesn't improve naturally. It needs a little bit of rehab to improve. So how do we look to see if we've got one of these gaps? Well, we need to lie down and have a little feel. So I bravely am going to get my tummy muscles out for the internet. I am 5 weeks postnatal with my third baby, and so I'm not expecting for it to look very good down here. So what we need to do is lie ourselves down, head goes down, and we're going to put our fingers in between your two abdominal muscles above and below your belly button. And you're having a little feel to see how far down you can go and how wide you think that gap is. So can you get 2 fingers, 3 fingers, 5 fingers in between that gap, and how deep you can go. You're then going to lift that head and neck off the floor, and you're going to keep feeling. And just make a note of what you're feeling. So I definitely here can feel I do have a gap. It's about 2 centimetres, and my fingers can go quite far down into my abdominal contents. I'm going to lower down now, and I'm going to see if I can change that gap by accessing my pelvic floor. And by doing that, hopefully we're going to tighten some of the fascia around that linea alba, and I'm going to see if it improves. So I'm going to take a breath in. I'm going to breathe out. I'm going to squeeze, gather and lift into my pelvic floor. I'm going to keep my pelvic floor on, and then I'm going to lift that head and neck up again, and I'm going to have a feel. So I'm feeling how far down, how wide, and what I can feel is that improves when I've got my pelvic floor on. So hopefully for me that's showing that my abdominal muscles are starting to heal when I connect with my breath and my pelvic floor, and it's showing that my diastasis is probably starting to become a bit of a functional diastasis. And it's ideal to do these little checks throughout your postnatal journey and as you get further along, and hopefully what you should feel is actually that gap is resolving, it's improving, you're generating more tension, your fingers can't go down quite so far, perhaps there are less fingers that can get into that gap. And so I recommend perhaps doing one of these checks, every couple of weeks, and then you're going to know that your rehab is working for you.